The next movement I want to go over is a basic duck under movement, and I'm sticking this with the throwing type movements because basically it involves the upper body, although it's not technically a throw. The notion is getting in between or getting inside control with your opponent or your partner. And when I do a duck under, remember when I was attacking the doubles, I'd lower my level and I'd come in, and the angle of my body, while pretty much upright, wasn't exactly upright. There's somewhat of an angle, okay? What I want to do with the duck under, though, is I want to approach it not like I'm going to attack like a double. See, the angle here might be favorable for a double in terms of my back. For a duck under, I want to keep pretty much upright and erect up here, okay, like that. I don't want to have my body angled forward like this. I don't want my chest facing down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to typically give a pop. I can give a pop on both arms, or I can have collar tie on one side and inside control on the other. Naturally, I'm going to duck under the side that I have the inside control on. Okay, so it could be double inside control or inside and collar tie. One way or the other, I'm typically going to pop the head down or pop the arm down. What's that going to do? That's going to tend to have him force his way up to regain his balance. What happens if he doesn't? I'm going to attack the head. Okay, if he doesn't respond, I'm going to attack the head. For example, a front headlock or a head and arm type position. Okay, so presuming he responds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my hips very, very deeply, and it's going to be down and up, and my body is going to stay pretty much upright. So I'm going to pop here, and I'm going to come down like this. Now, there are two ways you can utilize the footwork with a duck. You can step inside, then outside. So inside, outside, down and up. Okay, again, you can step inside, outside. So I pop the head, I step inside, outside, down and up. Notice I come behind the arm when I do that. And you'll also notice too, as I come under, I'm going to tug the arm. I don't just come here and hope that my head gets here. When I pop and I step, I'm going to throw it behind me a bit. Now, the other footwork I can utilize is to the outside, and some people prefer this. Some people prefer to step with the outside foot. So instead of going inside, outside, down and up, they're just going to come down with the outside foot and then straight up. Both are fine. Because I like doing the slide by a lot, which we went over on an earlier instructional, I have a tendency to favor inside and outside, an inside-outside step as opposed to an outside step. Both are fine, both work. Use what's most comfortable to you. Now, the key thing though, regardless, is hips down and up. Whether that's stepped outside like I did, or inside, outside, down and up. That's what's crucial. I've got to go very low. I can't cheat. I don't want to cheat and then try to jam my head under this way. You'll be more successful if you get a low position and up. Why? Because remember, my opponent is pushing into me. So push in a little bit, Colby. If all of a sudden I'm not there, he's coming forward. Well, I'm not going to be there because what I'm doing is I'm getting low. I'm getting low enough such that he's not able to support himself against me. He's going to go forward, and that's an excellent opportunity for me to initiate my duck under. So, I'm going to give a little bit of resistance into him. I feel a pushback. It doesn't have to be a real hard pushing match, just a little bit of subtle movement inside. I'm going to step and come under. Now, I'll finish that off most typically by just trying to get around behind. So I'm going to come here to this position. Pop it down. Okay, you can get your hooks in, do whatever you want from that position. But my point is, and you get a person's back from that position. Notice, I'm not going to step in like this. Okay, the angle is not good. Yep, I'm not good shape here. I want to come down and up. Good stepping with the outside. And then from that position, I simply want to go around behind. from here. Now from here, if I get caught in this position, so I've come up, what do I do here a lot? Notice I'm here. I do a couple things. One thing I like to do, I've ducked and I've come up, grab around the crotch, step, pop, and bring them down. From there. Step, pop, and bring them down. Bring it down to the mat this time. Oh, darn it. Come up to here. I'm going to step. Now watch my hips. Same hip principle as all of the throws. There. You can drill a person to the mat, obviously, that way if you want. When you're drilling with your partner, like right now, you obviously got to be careful, so you kind of slow it down a little bit. But you can practice that on the pad. Be careful, though, when you're doing that, because that's a position where you can't injure your opponent or injure your partner when you're practicing. My preference is typically just to jerk down on double arms, inside control, pop the head. Generally speaking, when you pop the head, you're going to get the biggest response from your opponent. If you don't, of course, you drill the head down and attack the head. Another option is I can fake one side here by pulling up. What happens if I lift this side up and Kobe perceives this, he tends to pull this side down. When he pulls this side down, there's a tendency for the opposite side to want to drift up. And so that leaves me with an opportunity to attack that side. So I could fake one side here, and as he pulls this down, come to the opposite side. I can fake one side, especially if I know my partner's pretty quick and starts to perceive my attacks. I'm just going to time that. So as I'm attacking one side here, I feel this come down. Immediately I shift, because as he's pulling this arm down here, this arm is going to want to come up. And I'm going to step to here. Okay? This type of an attack typically isn't quite as low line of an attack. When I do this type of thing here, if I step at the outside, I typically don't go down quite as low as when I step with my inside foot. I mean, I would say based upon my experience, at least doing these kind of techniques. So in this type of an attack, when I attack initially, I'm not going to be coming real low. I'm anticipating his response. So I hit him here, and I'm going to step across. I've already started to cut the distance. I'm getting closer to him, and I come under the opposite side here. And go through the crotch and lift if you want. Drop to a double, whatever you want from that position. So just be aware, you can tug, pop the head, okay, or fake one side, and then attack the other side.